Join me, Lou Diamond, on a new podcast show called Why They Listen, where I sit down with incredible leaders and communicators from different industries, unique platforms, and special programming from across the globe, and take a deeper dive into not only how they communicate, but how they connect and engage audiences, and why those audiences listen. You can find a new episode of Why They Listen wherever you listen to your podcasts, or at Aimcast, AIMECAST.com.
Today on Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond.
What the hell am I looking at? When does this happen in the movie?
Now. You're looking at now, sir. Everything that happens now is happening now.
What happened to then?
We passed then.
When?
Just now. We're at now.
Go back to then.
When?
Now.
Now?
Now.
I can't.
Why?
We missed it.
When?
Just now.
When will then be now? Soon.
Get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
So here's how it works. You take the blue pill, the story ends, you wake up in your bed, and you believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you listen to Thrive Loud, and Lou shows you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond, connecting you to the most inspiring and amazing people that are thriving each and every day. I'm your host, Lou Diamond. Today on Thrive Loud, we have the founder of Parent Tested, Parent Approved, a dedicated community of more than 200,000 families who subscribe to the awards-based platform to really engage with an amazing community. She has appeared on more than 200 morning shows on television networks. That's crazy, by the way. We're going to talk about that. And we're so excited to have her here today because she's got a great message. She's got a great, charming attitude, and she's not happy with the cold season that's coming to us. Thrive Loud listeners, Sharon Vinderine. How are you, Sharon?
I am fabulous, and I am not at all happy with the cold season that is upon us. Thank you for pointing that out.
So, Sharon, this is an interesting thing that you have created, and I think our listeners want to understand a little bit where it all comes from. So can we do like partial rewind to understand how this became your gig?
Sure. Okay, let's think back. So basically, I was a new mom. I had just sold a high-tech company, and I was all excited about taking some time off. And my husband laughed really hard and said, okay, let's see how long this lasts. And I was going out and I was shopping for products for my two kids. I had two under two. And I was bringing home tons of products, spending a fortune of money, only to find that these products served absolutely no purpose whatsoever. So I started calling friends going, okay, you know that baby swing, which is the one that's changing your life? You know that baby toy, which is the one that's changing your life? And I found that the products that my friends or peers were recommending to me tended to be the products that really were life-changing and actually did what they said they were going to do. So I thought, if only there was a seal of approval out there that at a glance you could see on a product was tested by other parents. And that's how Parent Tested, Parent Approved was born.
This is, by the way, a brilliant idea. Having remembered those days when my kids were really little and having to go through those stages of knowing if something was good or not. But I guess I also want to recognize, how did you gather and find the community that could help provide the Parent Tested, Parent Approved backing, if you would? How did that effort and that building of a community begin?
So that was probably just as hard as trying to get my first client, because when you start telling people, hey, I want you to be part of a community, I'm going to give you free products in exchange for just giving me your opinion, everybody thinks, yeah, whatever, sure you are. So what I had to do was literally take products, and I would be driving them around to people's homes in the evenings, dropping them off, giving them these surveys, and it kind of spread via word of mouth. And then I decided, okay, what's going to give me the greatest mass appeal? And I started harassing television producers in the hopes that they would actually consider putting this person who had no TV experience whatsoever on their show. And after about 6 months, I had one producer who agreed to it as long as I promised to never bother her ever again after she gave me this one chance. So that really helped with the growth. I actually ended up getting a monthly segment on that show, which was great. And that really helped grow the community over time.
Sharon, I think you're tapping into something that is actually at the heart of what you do. And I want to talk about this. And this has to do with, I guess, trust, or the way that trust is being marketed to people. Because obviously, like you said, those first initial products were just useless, or they didn't serve the value. Do you think you flipped the script, if you would, in the sense that if a company builds something and tells you to trust them and here it is, and you're going to have to take our word for it, or you flipped it around to know that it's really this community of people that have actually gone through this product and gone in the other direction, that's where the trust is being built. Do you think you've shook up the world enough to get things get businesses or products to think the other way on the way they market to consumers?
So I'd like to think that we are the almighty when it comes to this. I think we have made great strides. I think there is so much more that we can still be doing. But yeah, I think, from a manufacturer perspective, we want them to put their money where their mouth is. If they're making a product, they want us to spend our dollars on them. We want it to be a fantastic product, and we want them to stand behind it. From the parent perspective, parents can be your best advocate. If you create a fantastic product that really does what it says it's going to do, I, as a mom, I'm going to recommend you to my friends, and they're going to recommend you to their friends, and so on and so on. And it just helps build momentum. So it's kind of a win-win for both sides of the equation.
Going from a tech company to, I don't even know what category to put you in under this company. And I think that's actually what's really cool, is you've created a very unique business, but it's so different from what you did before. Or is it, is my question.
Completely different. I had started the first wireless internet company in Canada. So I was standing on rooftops in the dead of winter, adjusting antennas to give different buildings internet access. So I would say it's vastly different from the warm desk I'm sitting at indoors right now on very solid ground and no rooftops. So drastically different.
Before you go on, the listeners need to understand that obviously Sharon has a thing for cold weather. We need to get you into warmer climates. It's not our fault that you're living in Toronto, north of the border here in Canada. But Toronto is warmer than New York most of the times, I'm convinced. Anyway.
Yeah, but if we can relocate me to Florida or California, I'm good to go.
Okay.
Packing my bags.
So continue. So here it is. The parent tested, parent approved, running this business. What has this been like for you?
It is the craziest roller coaster ride I could have ever imagined. I feel like giving birth was a lot easier, relative. I think, every day proves to be its own adventure or its own challenge. It is this constant, so I'm really driven, very, very, very driven, and I'm never satisfied. So every day I kind of start my day with, okay, yesterday wasn't amazing. How's today going to be that much better? So I would say it's a high pressure roller coaster ride running this business on a daily basis. And we're also a teeny tiny team. We are 6 people who've managed to run a company that has, community of 200,000, thousands of products that get tested by us annually. So it's a huge undertaking.
Sharon, the entrepreneurs and the business people are trying to now, they're tinkering their minds and they're going, okay, well, how does Sharon make money? How does PTPA, look at me using acronyms already.
Impressive.
How do you make money? Who is your client really at the end of the day? The producers, the manufacturers who make the products, or is it from this reward system?
So it's the manufacturers that make the products. They come to us because they want to earn our seal of approval so that they can leverage it on their product, on packaging, on their digital shelves. So basically what happens is they pay a fee to get their product entered into the awards. That product then gets shipped to their target demographic. We select a number of families from our community. Product samples get shipped to those families. Families get to keep the products in exchange for completing an online survey in what we call their dashboard. Based on that feedback, we determine if the brand earns the seal. If they do, they get a license. We promote them to this great community of parents. We do all kinds of fun things, put them on television. If they don't, we give them a 70% refund of their fees, and we give them all of the feedback from the consumers because we want them to know why the product might not have earned the certification.
Okay,
so the dollars are coming from them.
So this is brilliant. And now I'm going to take this down the other avenue here. How many products are underneath this umbrella that you actually have with the PTPA logo?
That's an excellent question. There are thousands and thousands that have earned the seal.
Okay, so now I want to know this. When a product gets rejected and is not approved by the parents, which I imagine, by the way, might have been what was the kickoff of this thing, because you wanted to get parents to approve the right products, but it started from, as you said, the products that made no sense.
Yep.
So talk about, I guess, that communication back to the manufacturer, because that's a real interesting challenge, because I'm imagining some of them might make products that you do approve.
So, one interesting example years ago was a multinational corporation that had submitted about 25 different products to us. They are huge. They are in everyone's home. They had submitted all these products, and we did our testing, and 22 of the 25 were actual winners. And I was just so excited to have this brand working with us that when I found out these other 3 products had lost, I was just beside myself having to make this phone call. Like, I wasn't going to just send these guys an email saying, oh, sorry, you didn't pass. So I made the call. I was petrified of the reaction, and I finished my whole story about why it didn't earn the seal, what were the issues. And at the end of it, I kind of waited, and there was some silence. And then the brand manager said to me, you have just validated your program for me. And I said, okay, explain. And she goes, actually, we are pulling those products off the shelf already because our R&D team has already discovered these issues, while simultaneously a competing awards program just gave them their award-winning seal. She's like, now I understand the value of not being voted on, but actually being tested in hand.
That is great.
Yeah. So, being able to have that feedback, moms have an opinion. We are happy to share that opinion, the good, bad, the ugly. And we want manufacturers to, to understand this is what we think of your product. If it's great, we are going to be your biggest advocates. If it's lousy, hell hath no fury.
It's really funny because both of us had that same, your initial reaction and my reaction when I was asking the question was, oh my God, the fear of telling the manufacturer what could be wrong. But in reality, you were saving them time and money, because there could have been other marketing decisions or the product being produced or whatever it might be. And to know that here you have a group that's literally going to be potential buyers of this product, or consumers or not. And you're giving that type of feedback, which is the best direct messaging that any marketing department could ever get. So you're right. This literally gets my seal of approval. How about that? Is that
Yay!
Can we have the Thrive Loud, the Thrive Loud seal of approval? We get that. This business makes
either
total
that
sense.
or the Lou Diamond one. I don't know. We're gonna have to see which just sounds better, rolls off the tongue.
Whichever one rolls off either. Well, this is awesome. I love it. You're now going to get the signature question, because the listeners, aside from the fact that we know that she doesn't like the cold and she doesn't like wearing sweaters and weathers, when the seasons change, you've got a business with 6 people and many thousands of products underneath you. It's more painful than giving birth, but yet it seems to be thriving, and it's certainly making waves and attention everywhere across not just Canada, but obviously in the US and all of North America, and maybe other places as well.
Right.
But we do have days when we're not quite kicking on all cylinders. Sharon, when you are having trouble thriving, who or what practice do you seek to get yourself back on the thriving track?
So for me, I'm one of those people who's really easily influenced on the positive side. So I will start most days with a lot of energy, but as the day progresses, it kind of sinks. And I definitely need things to get me through the day, because, as an entrepreneur, I would say 4 out of 5 business days are a real struggle. And you're lucky if you have that one that's really fabulous. To me, I love inspirational quotes. I literally have some authors that I love listening to their podcasts. I love listening to inspirational podcasts like these, hearing about how Actually, my best one is I love hearing about the challenges that other entrepreneurs have had, because I feel like that just, it resonates with me, because I think to myself, oh, okay, if somebody that important can deal with that challenge and still, come out of that, then there's hope for me too. So, I love things like, Richard Branson, Lose My Virginity. I could read that book a zillion times over, because quite frankly, everybody looks at him and goes, wow, that guy is just really lucky. And the reality is there's no such thing. That guy he's just relentless. And I think that's the kind of attitude it takes in order to be able to be an entrepreneur these days.
The harder you work, the luckier you are. I kind of go by that motto.
Exactly it.
So I think this is spectacular. I want to get to some fun parts of the show. So let's get the admin part of the show out of the way. Share with the listeners, if you could, Sharon, all the places people can find PTPA, parent tested, parent approved, yourself, social media links, all that fun stuff. We are going to put it all in the show notes. However, it always gets more engagement when they hear it directly from you.
All right. So if you have a ridiculously amazing product that you want tested, you go to ptpaawards.com. If you want to sign up to be a parent tester, you go to ptpa.com. Instagram is PTPA Share, so that's SHAR, and our company account is on Instagram is PTPA Media. So those are probably the best ways to get in touch with us.
I like it. It sounds good. We've got the full gamut here. And
you got it.
People know they could send really comfortable sweaters up to Toronto to her attention.
You got it.
And she will take it. Yes. Okay. So Sharon, permission to go down Fun Street with you here on Thrive Loud.
Absolutely.
I've given extra time for this because I had a preview to the answer. Sharon, can you share with the listeners your all-time favorite movie?
Spaceballs.
So
I've just aged myself.
Well, you haven't really aged yourself. First of all, why does that movie connect with you so much?
It is just ridiculously funny. There's just not a line in that movie that is not ridiculously funny. Who doesn't love Mel Brooks?
So the story for this, Sharon, probably not announced to you, but known to many listeners of this program, is that I had my two sisters, amazing individuals, younger sisters, and we grew up. I'm the older brother, and they literally ran through about, 50 some odd quotes of Spaceballs because that's their favorite movie of all time. So we had a special episode of it. I think it even became its own episode at one point. So we may have to play bits and pieces of that. But yeah, I still can't get through that movie without giggling and laughing or just, may the Schwartz be with you, whatever it might be.
It is the best. First of all, so my car, when I got my car, it had something called ludicrous mode. And I was like it's meant to be. It's totally meant to be.
That's spectacular. All right. So this is the speed round of Fun Street. And we always have fun here. If you've ever seen the television show Family Feud, it's kind of like that. But I just haven't surveyed 100 people. I'm just talking to you.
All right.
So these are things that make you feel good, amazing, that lift you up, that when you think of, basically, that make you thrive, if you will, Sharon. Okay.
Oh, these have to be business related?
No, they have to be related to you. Things about yourself, because they're certainly not business related questions. Okay. Sharon, a song that picks you up or motivates you.
I never get song names right. Pink.
Anything.
I can't think of the name. I can't.
Well, it's all right. We
pass.
A favorite food that's not a dessert.
Potato chips.
Favorite dessert.
Ice cream.
An activity you wish you did more of.
Exercise.
An activity you wish you did less of.
Exercise.
I knew that was coming. I could tell by that sigh that was going on. Sharon, if you could snap your fingers and go anywhere in the world, where are you?
I'm in Santa Monica.
I love that town. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Sharon, as it relates to these thousands of products, specifically the ones that you were involved with, and I know this is not segmenting out, but what was the one that was the most oh my God, what a great product, what a great idea that stuck out over these last several years for PTPA? What was the one that made you say, oh my God, this is why we do what we do?
So unfortunately, it didn't last, but there was a device called Live, Lyve, and basically what it did is it took all of the photos from every single device you had, and it brought them onto this visual device. It kind of looked like an external hard drive, but at the same time, it had a picture frame. And I remember plugging it into one of my computers to grab photos, and it found photos of a friend who had recently passed away, and I had no idea I had these pictures. And it just allowed me to have this amazing library of photos from, all the devices and be able to look at them regularly. And I wish it would have lasted, but I thought it was one of the best design products around.
Sharon, Vinderine, this has been spectacular. I told you before we interviewed that today I was on one of those mass recording days, and I saved the best for last. I won't tell that to all the other guests. I'll let them know the same. But for that being said, this was a ton of fun. I'm so glad we had you on Thrive Loud today.
Thank you so much. It really was a lot of fun. I really appreciate the opportunity.
You got it. And to all our listeners out there, thank you for joining us. And until next time, keep thriving onward and upward. And remember, be brief, be bright, be gone.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Head on over to Spotify, Good Pods, or wherever you get your podcasts, and subscribe and listen to all of our incredible episodes. Follow Lou at Thrive Loud everywhere on social media, and head on over to thriveloud.com to connect directly to Lou and learn how you and your business can thrive loud too. Thanks for listening.